student, today we are going to see Standard 5th Computer Science. The lesson name is Hardware and Software. In this lesson, let us see the two major elements in computer. Come, let us move to the video session.
Standard 5th Computer Science Lesson 2 Hardware and Software. Let us see the introduction of hardware and software. The computer system has two major elements, that is hardware and software. In computer, these two things will play a vital role in computer system. For example, without hardware, the software will not run at all. So, both the things are very useful in everything. So, here they have shown a picture. You can see the picture. First, it is user, application, operating system and hardware. Whatever we are giving, first the user, whatever they are giving the input, it goes to the application, then to the operating system, then to the hardware. So, then it reverse. Hardware gives to operating system gives to application, then it goes to the user. So, application and operating system, these two things are called as software, and whatever the inputs which we are giving is called as hardware. For example, it will be very limited and we have to give that much to their computer system. This is about hardware and software introduction of computer system. Computer hardware refers to the collection of physical components. I have already said whatever the inputs we are giving, that means for example if you are typing something on the keyboard or otherwise we are writing something on the monitor with the help of a painter or otherwise with the help of a pencil, eraser, if you are rubbing anything, these all will comes under physical components. What are the things we are doing manually, it is called as hardware. For example, they have given three things, that is input device, output device and CPU. These are the main things which take place in hardware, that is input what we are giving to the system and output we are receiving as a printout. For example, if you are receiving as a printouts, if teacher is giving some questions, what the Abdul Kalam did in the year of 1972. Like that, she is giving a question, means what you will do? You will go and search in the Google. The same like they will be giving some printouts in the browsing center. So, if you want to get the output, so it is called as printout. That is output device. The next one is CPU. The full form of CPU is Central Processing Unit. Between these two, there will be some processing will be taken place. So, that we will say it as processing device, that we will say it as CPU, Central Processing Unit. CPU is the brain of the computer. How the human beings are having the brain, the same like CPU is also a brain of the computer. Only it works only, then only the computer will works. For the human being, first the brain works, then only all the parts of a body will work. The same like it is the brain of the computer. CPU is the brain of the computer. So, these are the three major things, that is input device, output device and CPU. Next one is input device. Let us see detailing about input device. Input device enable the user to give instruction to the computer. For example, whatever the instruction we are giving, only the input device gives to the computer. Some of the input device are keyboard, mouse, touch screen. For example, nowadays what we are doing, if you want to type something, we will type it on the keyboard. If you want to click something, what we will do? We will use the mouse to click something. The same like touch screen. For example, in the mobile phone or in the laptop or in the internet, what we are doing? We are touching the screen with the help of our finger. The same like these are the three things which is used for input device. The major one is keyboard, mouse and touch screen. Nowadays we are using mostly touch screen, so which is very useful for the mobile. So computer will always use the three things for the input device: keyboard, mouse and touch screen. Output device. Output device are used to display the output. Some of the output device are monitor, printer, speaker and projector. Output device is nothing but the result we are getting from the computer. The first one, that is monitor. We can see anything. For example, if you are painting, means what you can do? Whatever we are painting, we can see it on the monitor. That is the output we are getting from the monitor. Second one is printer. Printer is nothing but it will be in the form of paper. For example, mark sheet or otherwise in newspaper, everything we are getting, no, it is a printed form, so it is called as printer. Speaker. If you want to listen some music, for example in a marriage or in the functions, what they will be doing, they will be connected with the speakers. Everybody want to hear everything, so what they will be doing, they will connect with help of a speaker. So that is also a output. Whatever the thing they are talking, we are hearing here. So with the help of output, we are using the speaker. The last one is projector. Projector we will use for to see the screen. The screen will be, the picture will be very small. When you project yourself, then it will be shown as a very bigger in size. For example, in theater, you can see it in the picture. In a theater, there will be a big screen will be there. With the help of that only, what they will do, they will project everything. Okay, this is about output device. The next one is CPU, which is the brain of the computer. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. It has 3 subunits. That is, in CPU we have 3 subunits, that is CU, ALU and MU. CU as a full form called Control Unit. CU is otherwise called Control Unit. ALU has a full form Arithmetic and Logic Unit. Arithmetic and Logic Unit. MU means Memory Unit. MU means Memory Unit. We can see the picture how CU, MU and ALU is used. First, what happened? It will goes from the ALU to MU, then to CU, then how it reverse? CU to MU, then to ALU. Is whatever we are getting, we are receiving as the output. We all know what is meant by CPU. We will know what is meant by control unit. Control unit is nothing but it controls the computer. For example, if there is a teacher and student, if both the students are fighting, who will control? The teacher will control the student. The same like if computer is something happen means it controls the unit. That means the CU is very useful to control the computer. Next one is ALU, that is Arithmetic and Logic Unit. This unit perform arithmetic and logical operation. That means, for example, maths. If you want to put any maths sums or binary digits 0 and 1 like this means, we can use the ALU, that is Arithmetic and Logical Units. We can use it as a symbol, we can use it as the numbers. For this purpose, it is very useful. Let us see what is meant by memory unit. Memory unit is nothing but it stores the information. It will store all the data as well as information. Memory is of 2 types. There are primary memory and secondary memory. Primary memory itself is divided into 2 types, that is ROM and RAM, that is ROM and RAM. Secondary memory is divided into 4 types, that is hard disk, CD, DVD and flash drives. Again I'll tell you, memory is divided into two types, that is primary memory and secondary memory. Primary is divided into two types which has been shown in the picture, ROM and RAM, that is ROM and RAM. Secondary memory is divided into four types, hard disk, CD, DVD and flash drives. These are the four things. Primary memory. Primary memory is also called main memory. This memory holds data for quick access by the computer. That means primary memory has the other name, it is main memory, because it will do all the work. So it is called as main memory. Primary memory is divided into two types, that is RAM, that is random access memory, and ROM, read only memory. Let us see one by one in this lesson. RAM. This memory allows both read and write action. Both the things we can do. You can see the chip. Is in that chip we can do both the things, that is read action is also very important and write action is also very important. So all the programs are executed in RAM. But one disadvantages are there. If you switch off the computer, whatever we are stored in the RAM will be lost. That is the main advantage in this RAM. Let us see the next one, ROM. As the name suggests, this memory allows only to read, not to write, because you can see the full form, read only memory. As the name suggests, we can able to read, but we cannot able to write anything on this computer. This memory retains its content even when the computer is switched off. If you switch off the computer, the things which we have already stored in the computer will be permanently saved. So we cannot do anything. This memory holds instruction for starting the computer. That means it holds all the instruction, data, everything in the computer. This is called as ROM, that is read only memory. Secondary memory. This memory is also called as mass memory. Mass means it will be large and it is familiar to other person. This memory stores data permanently. Permanently it will store all the data in the computer. Even if the computer is switched off, the data are not lost. We cannot lose any data in this. So this is called as secondary memory. So the other name for secondary memory is mass memory. There are some example of secondary memory are hard disk, compact disk, that is CD, digital versatile disk, that is DVD, and flash drives. We are using nowadays as a pen drive, drives, everything. That is called as flash drives. These are the example of secondary memory. Let us see the working principle of computer. You can see the block diagram of computer. In this, first the input is taken from the input device. From the input device, we are giving the input. With the help of the control unit, you can see the picture. From the control unit, the input is sent to the memory unit. That means, what is that? Which is temporarily stored in the primary and secondary memory. From there, what is happening? The control unit sends the input to ALU, that is arithmetic logical unit. To that, it is sending the control unit. After processing, the ALU sends the result to the control unit. That means ALU sends the result to control unit. From the control unit, it finally gets as a result as a output unit. This is the information we are getting from the block diagram of computer. The next one we are going to see what is meant by software. Software is a collection of computer program that instructs the hardware to perform tasks. That means it is a collection of computer program. It will collect all the programs in the computer and instructs the hardware to perform as a task. It will give some task they have to perform. That is called as software. There are two types of softwares are there, that is application software and system software. There are two types of software. One is application software and system software. Let us see one by one in this. Application software. Application software is a set of program written for the specific task. It is mainly made for end user. That means it is only for the program which is written specific task. That is only written statement will be there in the application software. It is mainly used for end. That means the user will always use this application software. Here some of the example has been given for us. First one, it is word processor. Word processor is nothing but it is a package of creating documents. In system what we are doing nowadays, we are creating a documents which is so important for our life. For example, we can write a letter, report, projects in the schools and they are giving many projects. From where we are getting all the projects? From the system only we are collecting all the projects, information and everything. This is the first example, that is word processor. The next one is spreadsheet. Spreadsheet manipulates the data in tabular form. For example, we will write the differentiation. That means control unit and memory unit. Write the difference between control unit and memory unit. Is like that what we will do? We will make a tabular column. Is according to that only we will write. The same like as a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet is a pictorial representation. It will be like a tabular form. We can write as we want. For example, if you want to enter your mark sheets, we can enter in the spreadsheet. It is in the form of tabular form. Next one is database management system, DBMS. It is used for creating and maintaining, sorting and recreating the database. That means it will create and it will maintain everything and we can sort out everything from the database. So it is very, very important. The application software is useful for many purposes. The some example we have seen today. If you are going for the higher classes, we can study more about application software. System software. System software is a set of program written in machine language. That means which can be easily written with the help of a machine language. How we have seen in the first chapter. The same like they will be writing in a machine language. These programs are used to control the performance of the computer. That means we can control the performance of a computer very easily by using the system software. Some of the example they have given, that is first one, operating system, OS. When the computer is switched on, the OS is the first program that is loaded in the computer memory. That means operating system is the first program which will be loaded in the computer memory. And it acts as a interface between user and the computer. For example, if I am using the computer means I am the user and computer is one of the components. So it will interface between user and the computer. So it is called as operating system. Next one is translator. Translator are used to translate high level language to low level language. For example, if you are going for a waterfalls, from the top of the mountain it will flows to the down level. The same like from higher level it goes to the lower level. So it will be very, very useful. That is translator means from the high level it translates to the lower level. Next one is utilities. Utilities help the user to speed up the computer and improves the programming efficiency. That means this will helpful to speed up the computer. For example, if you are running in the running race, what you will do? If some opponent are running very fast, means you will overtake them. The same like if you want to increase the speed, we can do with help of the utilities. So this is called about system software. From the system we can do many things. So I hope you all understood about the lesson hardware and software. Thank you students.